Hey everybody, it's Andre from the Townhouse team, and in this video we're going to talk about 3 quick landscaping or exterior tips that you can do to your townhouse to potentially sell it for more money. Now, landscaping is not the most important factor when it comes down to selling your townhouse, but it is very important. Obviously, the interior takes precedence because buyers are going to be spending the majority of their time inside the home. That's why you want to focus on the kitchen, bathrooms, bedrooms, all those different things. But the exterior plays a pretty important role because ultimately, I would say it's between 25 to 35% the exterior of a home, and then the remainder being the interior onto what finalizes or compiles the high sale price of a property. And the remainder of that 35% of the exterior, you can say that half of that is the lawn, the landscaping, and the other half is just the exterior features such as the roof, the condition of the siding, the brick, and all those different factors. So landscaping is pretty important, and you want to make sure that you don't just sweep it under the rug or just don't do anything at all with it when you want to prepare your townhouse to come to the market to maximize the sale price of your home. The exterior of any type of real estate is the first impression that a buyer gets, not just when they pull up to go view the home, but the first photo that they usually see when they're looking on it online. And especially in a digital age like right now, the majority of buyers are looking online. You want to make sure that that first photo offers a good impression, and your landscaping, or the 3 tips we're going to talk about here, is going to make sure that you can do everything that you can for cheap to make your property stand out. These 3 quick tips and fixes are a fantastic way to boost your overall curb appeal, and you can do it for a very low cost because you can do the majority of work by yourself. You don't have to hire someone. You can just take a weekend, get it all done, or have a friend help you out with it. So let's jump into it here, and this first one is going to be pretty obvious. Just maintain your lawn in good health, and that involves cutting it at least once every 2 weeks. Water it during the really hot weeks that we've seen this summer and the past summers before it. You don't want those dry patches or the grass drying up amongst the other healthy grass. And then as well, get a whippersnipper or a trimmer to kind of outline your lawn. Overall, the concept of selling your property for the most amount of money is obviously pretty simple. You want to make sure that your property, your product, is the best deal or the best option on the market. Now, yes, the lawn usually doesn't make the make or break it difference, but it's definitely something that buyers are going to talk about whether they're deciding if they want to put an offer in on your property or another property, or depending how much they want to go for it. Because whether you like it or not, if the interior property is done up to the nines, that's amazing. But if the exterior needs a lot of work, then they're going to focus on those negatives. Yes, they're going to see the positive, but they're going to focus on the negatives. That's generally the mindset that we as cooperating agents do, and buyers do as well. They're going to look at a property, and yes, there's a lot of amazing features about it, but they're not going to talk about everything that's amazing about it. They're going to compare the negatives compared to the other negatives of another townhouse that they might be considering. Number 2 is power wash your porch, deck, or walkway, and or repaint it. This is a great, cheap, and cost-effective way to give your townhouse a little bit of character and just make it stand out a little bit more, because when you have that old weathered gray wood, it's not doing anybody any favors. So if you take or rent a power washer, you probably have a friend that has one already, you just power wash it, clean it up, maybe go to Home Depot, get some stainer, and just stain the wood before you hit the market. You have that fresh, you have that little bit of new sense of purpose for that porch, for that deck, and it's not just going to show up and translate through when the buyers come to view the property. You're going to see that in the initial media as well. The very first photo that buyers are going to see, if you paint your deck a nice lively brown color, then it's going to stand out and it's going to draw their attention towards that, as opposed to just looking at the dry spots in the grass. One thing we really try and focus on here at the Townhouse team is drawing attention towards the property as opposed to leading it away. You could imagine as if there's a red carpet leading towards the front door. Make sure that their attention follows it and just looks towards the door, so that when they're looking through the photos, it's as if they're already there and they're already at the viewing and they're being walked through the property. You want to make sure it draws their attention in. And yes, a porch might not be the make it or break it point, but it's definitely going to add just that little bit of character. And if you have something that stands out, I mean, if your property's white and you make it a nice black, or a black and what's that color called? It's like just a nice color stain of wood, then it's going to stand out and it's going to make the home a little more modern and just give it a little bit of a facelift on the front of the property. The follow-up to that too, if you want to go this route, it would be a little more expensive, but you can actually seal the driveway. You can power wash and or seal the driveway, which is definitely going to make a pretty big difference. Sometimes we see sellers on a warm day, they'll actually wet their driveway so that it seems darker in the photos and stands out a little more. That usually doesn't work out because the sun dries it out well before the photos are taken. But if you want to seal your driveway, make it look new, give it that nice dark finish, then that's definitely another route that you can take in addition to coloring or power washing your porch and just giving it a little more life. And finally, plant some trees, ferns, or some flowers around the entrance of your townhouse. It again comes down to the fact that you want to make your product, your townhouse, seem better than all the other options out there. And some trees, just some life outside of your entrance, is a great way to again draw that buyer attention into the property. Other aspects as well is you can use some ferns or shrubs or bushes or plants or flowers or whatever, you can take your choice on it to actually hide some imperfections. For an example, in the north end of Barrie, there was a townhouse development and all the gas meters are at the front of the home, just right there front and center. I mean, it doesn't look the prettiest, it doesn't look the ugliest as well, but you can take two or three trees or ferns and hide it, and overall it just looks a little different because now your neighbor has a gas meter that's right up front and center and yours has some nice trees blocking it off without destroying the functionality of it. When it comes down to the exterior, and if you're doing this on a budget and you want to maximize it, it's the little things that count. You don't have to go and get new patio stones for the entire walkway. Make sure instead that the lawn is really well taken care of and that it has water and that there's no weeds and it just looks very clean and upkept. And it again comes back down to the fact that you want to have a small aspect, you want to add some different characteristics for your property so that it stands out, so that when the buyers go view 5 or 10 or 15 different townhouses in the city of Barrie, they remember, okay, I remember seeing that one, it had those cute little flowers or those nice trees along the walkway, and that's what they gravitate towards and that's what they remember, and ultimately that's what they end up hopefully offering on or paying top dollar for. For the time and small cost that you can do these fixes for, you can easily expect at least $5,000 to $10,000 more on the final potential sale price of your property, as opposed to just not taking care of the lawn and having dry grass everywhere and it's overgrown and it just doesn't look good from the exterior when they look at it online. So make sure that you make it worth it for them, that you make it appealing enough to take a look at and then book a viewing and then hopefully put in an offer or pay top dollar for it. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check out our weekly townhouse market report to stay up to date and informed on exactly what townhouse prices are doing in the city of Barrie. I'm Andre from the Townhouse team and we will see you in the next one.